Alright, let's get started. Namaste everyone. Welcome to Hindi University. As you know, my name is Ashutosh. We meet every Sunday, 8 a.m. US Pacific time, which is time on the west coast of the US, and we learn about the Hindi language. For those of you who are new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Hindi University. One word, and you can find all the previous videos that we have done on the Hindi related topics from beginners to advanced. If you are interested in joining our live interactive classes that we have every Sunday, you can find all the details on this page, which is tiny.cc/Hindi University. Okay, that's also one word. You will find all the classes structured based on the topics, and we have regular practice sessions as well, which is conducted and organized by advanced students, and you can find all the practice session details also here. Okay, if you're interested in joining the WhatsApp group that we have where people discuss and ask their questions, etc., so you have to reach out to me or join the class, so that way we can add you in the group appropriately. As you know, this year we are doing two parallel tracks, so we are covering the Hindi basic sessions as well as the intermediate, advanced, and parallel, and we are covering two books. Okay, first one is the Advanced Hindi Grammar by Professor Usha Jain, and the second one, so this is for intermediate, advanced level, and the second one that we are covering is Pingu Learns Hindi. This is for absolutely beginners. Okay, so that way, based on your level, you can really decide and practice accordingly. Okay, as you know, we are in the previous class we covered chapter 6 of Advanced Hindi Grammar, chapter 6, in which we cover the advanced uses of Hindi postpositions. So we'll continue to cover this topic today, and I'll wrap up chapter number 6. And as always, the class will give you some basic, we'll brush up some of the previous topics as well before we dive deeper into completely new topic. Okay, so with that, let's get started. And as always, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask. So if you recall, in the previous class we learned about inverted postposition. So some of it I want to do a revision of that as well, but I want to finish the new topic first, and then we'll do the revision of the inverted postposition in case if you missed the previous class. But in today's class, I want to cover the use of an interesting postposition. Okay, so for some of you, you may be thinking, what is a postposition? So we'll get to that. So if you guys recall, in the very, very beginner session, we learned about two postposition, per or pay, and then we've also learned about a keyword called bhi. Okay, bhi means also in English as well as to, and par, which is this one is in Devanagari like this, bhi. Par is on. Okay, common postpositions. So in English, you will say on the table, okay, or on the roof, or at the station, right? So you can tell, so give me 1 minute. So as you can tell that in English, these keywords are coming before the nouns or the pronouns that you have in the sentence. Okay, that's why in English they're known as preposition, but in Hindi, when you tell them, they will be following the noun or the pronoun. Okay, so on the table in Hindi will be maize par or table pe. Okay, pe and par in this case are same. You can use either of them. Similarly, on the roof, you will say chhat par or chhat pe. Okay, at the station, you will say in Hindi as station pe or station par. So you see, so that's why it's a slight switch. English preposition, Hindi postposition, because they're following the noun or the pronoun. Okay, So this is sort of the very, very basic. I'm going to give you some more examples, but just as like why we call it postposition. So typically when you know just getting started, you will learn the simple use cases of per and be. In the advanced use cases, we'll try to see if you combine both of them together in a sentence. And if you say per be, and before that if you have a verb, what does it mean? Okay, so by the end of this class, my goal is that you will be able to use per and be together along with a verb. Okay, so that'll be the final goal. So but before that, I'll still want to give you some more basics of how to use per and be separately and how to use them together. So I have some examples. I'm not gonna erase them here. Okay, so we started with how to use this postposition per. Okay, and some of the examples I said is table per, which is on the table, chat per, which is on the roof. And if you're at the station, if somebody is asking you where are you, okay, they can say I'm at the station. मैं station पे हूँ. Okay, I'm at the station. Okay, what other examples can you think of where you will have a noun or a pronoun followed by per or be? You can type it in the Zoom chat or in the Facebook chat, or you can unmute yourself and share it. This is a quick refresher for everyone, for even beginners as well as the advanced folks. Simple use cases of using per. Okay, let's see. Christina ji, what do you think?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Take your
Can
time.
you repeat?
So question is, can you use pay and per in a simple way? So you have a noun or pronoun followed by per.
मैं घर पे है.
Okay, घर पे, at the house, or so you said basically घर पर.
हाँ.
घर पर or घर पे. Okay. Anyone else? Let's see what is Vidya ji saying. Vidya ji saying sadak par. Okay, awesome. That's Kelly ji, and she's saying sadak par. Sadak par. And what does it mean, sadak par?
On the road.
On the road. On the road. So if somebody wants to say don't throw trash on the road, how will you say it in Hindi? Do not throw trash or on the road.
सड़क पर कचरा मत फेंको.
Very good. Do not throw trash on the road. It is a little bit in imperative as well, right? So do not throw, which is sadak, and on the road. So you said sadak par. Trash is 1 minute. So you have sadak par. Trash is so if you were to simply, let me erase it, okay? Okay, so sadak par, and then let's say, how do you say this part? Like if you guys recall, if there is some action that is in an imperative manner, right? You will say eat food, right? So khana khao, right? Pani piyo, right? So just like that, because these are imperatives. You have food, and then it's also a verb, khana, right? So it's ending with o to kind of give that sense of politeness. Khana khao, pani piyo, samne chalo, samne dekho. In a negative sense, because it's to throw, the verb is fenkna. Okay, fenkna. So you have basically फेंकना. Okay, so throwing trash is kachra फेंकना. So you have a kachra. I'm gonna just write it P. It's much easier to pronounce it that way. Kachra फेंकना. Okay, and then in a negative sense, you are saying सड़क पर kachra. Because it's negative, you are saying mat फेंको. And then you can use pretty much, if you want, you can use the other forms of imperative like सड़क पर कचरा मत फेंकिए. If you want to be direct, सड़क पर कचरा मत फेंक. If you want to be extremely polite, सड़क पर कचरा मत फेंकिएगा. So all the 4 forms of imperative that we have learned. Okay, so again, like, this is just a basic of using per. Anyone else would like to share their thoughts how to use per? Paid per. Yeah, go ahead.
अभी मैं बिस्तर पर बैठी हूँ.
Okay, on the bed is बिस्तर पर. Okay, anyone else? So I think Mahaji is using मुझ पर
भरोसा करो.
Very good. Okay, so just like the way you have noun following by the postposition, you can have pronoun as well. So you have a मैं, which is I, and after that you have a पर or पे, and she's saying it will be मुझ पर, which means, what does it mean, Mahaji?
On me.
On
मुझ
me.
पर भरोसा करो means you can put your trust on me or something.
Okay,
like
yes sir, very good. So you're saying मुझ पर भरोसा करो, like trust me. That's what you're saying basically. Trust me or put your trust on me. Trust me or put your trust on me. Any questions so far of this part, per? The advanced use cases I can get, like some of you will get it immediately. Some will take time. And chair per also, some of you said it, chair per. Okay, on the chair per. And then I see some more examples. Paid per. Okay, so if you want to see, there is a bird on the tree. How will you say that? There's a bird on the tree. Vatsala ji, how are you doing? Okay, you already wrote it, but go for it.
चिड़िया पेड़ पर बैठी है.
Very good, right? पेड़ पर a bird है और पेड़ पर पक्षी है. And as you said, if you want to say, there's a bird sitting on the tree, you can say चिड़िया पेड़ पर बैठी है. Awesome. Anyone else? Let's see if anyone is still having difficulty on this one. Maybe I'll take questions on that. Tyler ji, so far so good, straightforward. Okay, awesome. So I'll get going if there are no additional questions on this one. This should be simple, hopefully. Okay, so I think समय पर, very good. This is a very good example. What does it mean? What does it mean? समय पर. Anyone?
On time.
Very good. On time. So you want to say eat your food on time. How will you say that, Tyler? Eat your food on time.
अपना खाना समय पर खाओ.
Very good. अपना खाना समय पर खाओ. अपना खाना समय पर खाओ. Okay. It's imperative again because you are, suggesting someone, and I feel confident that if there are other variation of this sentence, you can do that. Like, for example, if you want to say he doesn't eat his food on time, okay, Why don't you eat your food on time? All these variations, I feel comfortable that you'll be able to do so. Okay. So awesome. समय पर अपना खाना समय पर खाओ, on time. Great. Okay, so we'll get going. So this is a very simple use cases of using per. And if making longer sentences hard for you, just focus on this pair. Okay, and first feel comfortable saying those first. Okay, so this is on. Now we'll go and do be, and then we'll combine both of them together. Be. It means also and to. Okay, so there are many cases of it, like before I go and give the answers, I want to see if anyone recalls how to use be in Hindi. Taraji, you want to give a simple sentence of using be?
मैं भी घर जा रही हूँ.
Very good, right? Very good. So the sentence is, let's say I am saying मैं घर जा रहा हूँ. Okay, it's written in present continuous. The verb is jana, but it's saying, because it's continuous, you remove the na and you put raha, and it means I am going home. But imagine if I'm talking to Taraji and I'm telling her that I'm going home, and she wants to say, hey, I am also going home. Okay, she can say, instead of saying I also, either she can say me too or I am also. She can say मैं भी घर जा रही हूँ. So this is giving the indication of I, me too, or I'm also. Okay, मैं भी घर जा रही हूँ. Okay, simple sentence. Similarly, let's say, so in this case it's coming after the personal pronoun. Okay, मैं. But let's say if I'm using it in a different way, I'm saying मुझे let's say ice cream पसंद है. This is what I'm talking to. Let's say in this case I'm talking to Mastram ji. Okay, and we meet and I'm like, okay, मुझे ice cream पसंद है, and he wants to say, oh, me too. How will you say that, Mastram ji?
मुझ भी पसंद हो.
Very good, right? So you will say
मुझ भी ice cream पसंद हो.
मुझे भी. Awesome. मुझे भी. Either you can just say this part and that's about it. Everything else is implied. But if you want to be, you want to say the full sentence, you'll say मुझे भी ice cream पसंद है. I too like ice cream. Okay. Let's see who else would like to share their thoughts on how to use be.
कभी भी मिलते हैं.
क्या चीज?
कभी भी मिलते हैं.
Okay, कभी भी मिलते हैं. Okay. Okay, so it's the correct sentence, कभी मिलते हैं, but like it doesn't convey the also or to part. Okay, so think one more time. Maybe you'll get it. Okay. In the meantime, let's see who else.
कभी भी मिल सकते हैं.
Okay, very good. कभी भी मिल सकते हैं. We can meet anytime. Okay.
या कुछ भी है. कुछ भी है.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if I'm gonna ask this time. Radhika ji, you want to unmute yourself and share?
मुझे भी कॉन्सर्ट जाने
Okay. Okay.
चाहिए. Or I don't know how do I say. I also wanted to go to concert, so मुझे भी concert को जाना.
Okay. I also I think that's what you want to say. I also want to go
Go to
the
Go to the
concert.
concert.
Okay, so let's say okay, this is what you want to say. I want to go. So let's
Yes.
say, how do you say this part? I want to go.
I want to go.
Yeah.
मुझे जाना चाहिए और मैं जाना चाहती
Yeah, either way is fine. So let's say you want to say मैं जाना.
जाना चाहती हूँ.
Very good. मैं जाना चाहती हूँ. Okay. And let's say you want to say I want to go to the concert.
मैं concert को. Is it go necessary there or no? My book says go.
Okay, so let's say you don't worry about it. My concert, you can say, go is not necessary.
My concert जाना चाहती हूँ.
Okay, my concert, to me, may comes like, naturally. So my concert में जाना चाहती हूँ, and then let's say somebody wants to, they respond to you and they say, oh, me too, right? मैं भी, then they can say मैं भी concert में जाना चाहता हूँ और मैं भी concert में जाना चाहती हूँ. Okay, so that way kind of, they're also saying that, it's the same interest, or they also want to do the same thing. Okay, awesome.
Is it concert male or female?
Concert male or female? Who would like to answer that?
Sorry, feminine or masculine? Sorry.
Yeah.
Concert. Because if I say maybe Parveen Sultana का concert और ये concert कोई फर्क नहीं है. Okay. Oh, okay.
So it's basically ka concert or K concert.
Parveen Sultana का concert.
If you ka concert, but if it is used followed by another postposition, K concert में, because then it changes to the oblique case.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Ka concert or K.
Right, like we'll say Jagdish Singh ka concert. Okay, you will say even if Shreya Ghoshal is performing, you'll say Shreya Ghoshal ka concert. You'll not say Shreya Ghoshal ki concert, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Ka concert.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ashu, so when you have the may is because concert is a gathering of people. Right?
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Any other thoughts, questions? Anyone still not clear about how to use be? Or still maybe wants to practice more? Everybody's quiet. Let's see. Done? What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, so let me give you another example and you want to just repeat that, okay? So, मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ. Can you put be anywhere in this sentence and tell me what does it, after putting be, what does it mean?
मैं भी हिंदी बोलता हूँ.
Very good. What does it mean?
बोलता is speak.
Huh?
What is बोलता?
बोलता is to speak. That's right. मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ, to speak.
Okay. I also speak Hindi.
Very good. I also speak Hindi. Right? So you know it. Okay. Let's say मैं बास्केटबॉल नहीं खेलता हूँ. Done. You again. You have to put be anywhere in this sentence and you tell me what does it mean. Both, before and after.
मैं भी basketball नहीं खेलता हूँ.
Okay. What does it mean? Before and after.
I don't play basketball either.
Okay. I don't play basketball. That's the first one. And after putting be.
मैं भी basketball नहीं खेलता हूँ. I also don't play basketball.
Very good, right? So you can use it for both negative and the affirmative cases, right? So what I feel is it may be difficult to just spontaneously come up with a scenario, but if you see it in a sentence, hopefully it should make sense. Okay, hopefully it should make sense to most of you. Okay, any questions before I?
May I try?
Yeah, please go
May
ahead.
I try?
Please go ahead. Yes.
मैं बास्केटबॉल नहीं खेलती हूँ.
हाँ?
मैं क्रिकेट भी नहीं खेलती.
Very good. मैं cricket भी नहीं खेलती हूँ. Awesome. Anyone else would like to try?
Ashu Ji, can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Would you differentiate with by, but like if you were saying, I don't play basketball or cricket, something like that. You're trying to say you don't play either one.
Huh?
As opposed to saying something like, this man plays basketball and I don't play basketball either.
So the sentence is, let's say you play basketball and I don't play it either. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes.
So
I don't play basketball either. Meaning you don't play basketball and I don't play basketball. So I don't play basketball either.
So I mean, I would still say मैं भी basketball नहीं खेलता हूँ. मैं भी, that's what I would say. मैं भी basketball नहीं खेलता हूँ. So to me, even though you're putting either in this case, for me it's naturally the B comes there. मैं भी basketball नहीं खेलता हूँ.
Okay.
Yeah. What were you thinking, Diego? What did you have in your mind? What were you thinking?
So that would be to me. I also don't play basketball.
Yeah.
So that I'm having a hard time trying to explain the question. It's like the difference between the two games and two people.
Yeah.
If like in English, if I were going to say it in English, I would say I don't play basketball either. And the other one would be, oh God, I'm making a mess of this.
I see. Basketball भी. Oh, I see.
It's the difference between playing the two games and two people not playing the same game.
I see what your confusion is. Okay. I don't play basketball either. मैं basketball भी नहीं खेलता हूँ. So you're saying whether it is मैं भी versus मैं basketball भी नहीं खेलता हूँ. Should it come here versus here?
Yes.
Yes. That's right, actually. You are right. So I didn't understand it before. I'm sorry, but yeah, you are right. मैं basketball भी नहीं खेलता हूँ. So you will, because if the emphasis is on the person, then it's मैं भी. If the emphasis is on the game, then you will put it after the game. मैं basketball भी नहीं खेलता हूँ, मैं cricket भी नहीं खेलता हूँ, मैं कुछ भी नहीं खेलता हूँ. Make sense?
Okay, thank you. You understood my question
Yes.
better than I did.
Right, so yeah. Anyone else? That was a great question actually, and I'm glad you stopped me. Otherwise, I would have just assumed that.
No, I think excuse me.
Yeah.
I think you wanted to know how to say I don't play neither basketball nor cricket.
So you want to say?
So मैं cricket या basketball भी नहीं खेलता हूँ.
So if the person is saying,
Cricket,
let's say
basketball,
say it again. मैं basketball.
basketball या cricket,
Yeah, cricket.
or
Yeah.
भी नहीं खेलता हूँ.
So I think there it is like an extra B. Like if a person is saying मैं basketball या cricket नहीं खेलता हूँ. If anyone is saying, let's say I do not play either, I will say मैं basketball या cricket नहीं खेलता हूँ. या मैं basketball और cricket नहीं खेलता हूँ. Okay. And let's say you want to say I do not play it either. You can say मैं भी basketball और cricket नहीं खेलता हूँ. Then you are talking about you as a person. You see what I'm saying? Like, because you are saying that I do not play it either.
Okay.
Yeah. What were you thinking though? You wanted to put it after this one.
Well, I think it's an emphasis. So saying neither this nor that.
Yes. So the other way would be मैं, and I think that's what you are thinking. मैं. If you want to use neither nor, मैं ना तो खेलता हूँ ना ही खेलता. So it's neither nor. And I didn't really plan for it, but we can do it in the next class. But for neither nor, you should think about this construction. You know, it's like the same construction that we did ya to, either, ya. I don't know if you guys recall, we did that before. So it's ya to, either, या तो मैं इटालियन खाऊंगा या मैं फ्रेंच खाऊंगा, फ्रेंच खाना खाऊंगा. Either I'll eat Italian food or I'll eat French food. The negative construction of that is मैं ना तो मैं इटालियन खाऊंगा ना ही फ्रेंच खाऊंगा. ओके, ना तो क्रिकेट खेलूंगा ना ही फुटबॉल खेलूंगा. Okay, we can brush it up again if you guys like it, but I think that's what you are looking for, either or, neither nor. Okay, I'll get going, but again, just to kind of bring you back together, we practiced two different postposition independently. That was the summary. Like we practiced using per or pay in a simple use cases, and then we practice use of, you know, be, per, pay, and then be. Now Usha Chen says, like, you know, if both of them you have a verb that is written in the infinitive form, okay, and after that you have per followed by a P. Because you have postpositions, you ended up using the oblique case of the verb. Okay, and let's say if you're using per and be, it gives it a special meaning, and it means in spite of. In spite of. And I'm going to give some examples because just theoretical, it may be hard. In spite of. Okay, which is same as like formally sometimes you will say despite doing this and this. Okay, in spite of. So let's say I'm going to erase it. I'm going to start with the problem. Let's say you want to say in spite of working hard, the person still failed. So let's say someone worked very, very hard, right? In spite of working hard. So you want to say in spite of working hard, either he couldn't win the gold medal, okay, or he still couldn't score the top numbers. Okay, this is an example of it. In spite of, let's say somebody is even though they are very sick, okay, yet they are able to help other people. You want to say in spite of being sick, he is still very generous, or he's still, you know, doing everything possible he can to help others. Okay, let's say some of your friend is sick and they are on a strict diet. Okay, and the doctor gave them the recommendation that if they do diet properly, they will stay fit, they will lose weight. Okay, and your sentence is basically in spite of dieting, they are not losing weight, or they are unable to stay fit. Okay, in spite of drinking 2 glasses of water, I'm still feeling thirsty. Okay, I hope you understand where I'm going with this pattern. Okay, the idea is not to kind of like, you know, the idea is to just to get you comfortable with the scenarios where, you know, you will use first in your own language these kind of, you know, sentences. In spite of working hard, in spite of being sick, in spite of dieting, in spite of drinking 2 glasses of water. Okay, forget about Hindi part right now. Okay, give me your thought process of where you will use in spite of.
In spite of practicing Hindi,
Very
not
good.
going anywhere,
Very
not getting anywhere.
Very good, right? In spite of practicing Hindi. In spite of practicing Hindi. And I want you guys to write down at least your sentences, because then you have to say the same sentence you're saying in English in Hindi. In spite of practicing Hindi, let's say you want to say, I'm still, taking time to communicate. Okay. Anyone else? That's a good one. In spite of practicing Hindi. Risha ji, what do you think? How are you doing?
Hi, Ashu Ji, I'm good.
Yeah. You want to think about some sentences, or at least where you can use in spite of?
In spite of trying to drive.
Okay, very good.
How?
Very good. In spite of trying to drive.
Or learning to drive.
In spite of learning. In spite of learning to drive. Okay. Let's say you want to finish it up however you want to do it, right? That's not the point, because the second sentence you can say it in whichever tense. Okay. Anyone else?
In spite of earning money.
Okay. In spite of earning money. Earning money. Okay. Anyone else?
In spite of doing his homework.
Okay. In spite of doing his homework. In spite of doing his homework. Okay. Anyone else?
In spite of doing the right thing.
Okay. In spite of doing the right thing. In spite of doing the right thing, he still got the punishment or something, right? So you see, in all of them, okay, in majority of the cases, you have the verb that is ending with ing. Whether it is being, doing, working, earning, learning, practicing. Okay? So, when you have sentences like these, okay, you use the oblique form of the infinitive verb followed by par bhi. Okay? So, what is to practice in Hindi?
Abhyas karna.
Abhyas karna. Okay? Abhyas karna. So you have abhyas karna. Okay? What is the oblique form of abhyas karna?
Abhyas karne.
Very good. So oblique form of abhyas karna is, or practice karna, if it is hard for you, simply say practice karna. So oblique form is na becomes ne. Abhyas karne. All you have to do is put par bhi after that. Abhyas karne par bhi. Okay? Or Hindi practice karne par pe bhi. Okay? So I'm going to erase some of it, because and you guys have to remind me some of the sentences that I'm erasing. Okay? So all you're saying is Hindi practice karne pe bhi. The other form of saying the same thing would be Hindi practice karne ke bawajood. So Usha doesn't cover it, but I want you to remember it. Both of them are exactly same. Okay? Hindi practice karne pe bhi or Hindi practice karne ke bawajood. You can say it either ways, and both of them are correct. Okay? Pe bhi, because this is the topic, right? Par bhi or pe bhi. Hindi practice karne par bhi. And then you can say the second part of the sentence, मैं धीरे धीरे बोलती हूँ. Okay? और हिंदी प्रैक्टिस करने के बावजूद let's say you want to say I don't understand. मैं नहीं समझती हूँ. Okay. So far so good. I'm assuming. Let's say just like this. You want to say in spite of being sick. I think JD, you no. Who said that? Someone said it. Or maybe I said it. But in spite of being sick. JD, what do you think? How will you say that? In spite of being sick.
Bimar.
Mm-hmm.
Bimar par by.
What is to be is to be form of the verb is bimar. Very good. Very good. Hona. Bimar hona.
Bimar hone.
Mm-hmm.
Bimar hone par by.
Par bhi.
Par bhi.
Mm-hmm. Bimar hone par bhi. He is very helpful. वह.
Oh, so in spite of being sick, he is very helpful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Madat.
Mm-hmm.
Bahut. Madat.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
बहुत मदद करता है और बहुत helpful है. Awesome. Great. Okay. बीमार होने. So what he did was, बीमार is not a verb, but बीमार होना can give that, that sense. So बीमार होना, and you remove the na and you change it to the oblique form ending with a. बीमार होने पर भी. Okay. Or you can say बीमार होने के बावजूद, वह बहुत helpful है और वह सबकी मदद करता है. Okay. Hang in there. If it is still not coming, the more we practice, it will come naturally.
Ashu Ji?
Yeah.
Ashu Ji, just an observation. I'm just wondering whether I need only two words like karna and hona. To make it karne and hone. Is that how it works?
In most of the cases, you will be able to, manage with karna and hona. But like there may be cases, where, there may be cases where, you may have to form the oblique of the verb itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, good observation. Karna and hona. So why don't we try this one? In spite of drinking 2 glasses of water, I'm still thirsty. Why don't you tell me, Nandini ji? In spite.
दो ग्लास पानी पीने पर भी मैं प्यासी हूँ और मुझे प्यास लगती है.
Okay, very good. So 2 ग्लास
पानी पीने पर भी
मुझे
प्यास लगती है.
Okay, very good. लगती है. Okay. So you make sense, right? You answered your own question, right? पानी पीने पर भी.
Oh yes, it's a different verbs.
Right? Right? So 2 glass पानी पीने पर भी मुझे प्यास लगती है. Basically, you're trying to emphasize to the person that you drank a lot of water, yet you're feeling thirsty. Okay? Or you can use the other form. 2 glass पानी पीने के बावजूद मुझे प्यास लगती है. Anyone, and be very honest, anyone found this sentence hard? If yes, which part of the sentence was hard? Suvilai, what do you think? Was this sentence hard for you? And if yes, which part?
It's okay for me. I understand.
It's okay for you. You understood this one, right? Do is to.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
दो गिलास पानी.
Water.
Yeah, पानी water. Drink. To drink. Be in spite of.
In spite of drinking 2 glasses of water. मुझे is to me.
मुझे to me. Yes, thirsty.
लगती है.
I feel thirsty.
Very good. I feel thirsty. I feel thirsty. I feel thirsty. Okay, so Vila, you want to make another sentence. In spite of earning money, or maybe in spite of being rich, he is something. So let's say you want to say in spite of being rich. I just made a slight change in the sentence because it will be easier. In spite of being rich, he is conjuice, which is a Hindi word, but conjuice, which is spendthrift basically. He doesn't spend money. How do you say that, Suvilai?
I don't know which how to say.
Okay, rich is Amir.
Amit Hone Papi.
Okay.
Amir Hone Papi.
Amir होने पर भी
Papi. What is it?
it's conjuice. Yes, conjuice.
Kansu, yeah. Kansu hai.
Conjuice है. S sound, sir sound, right? Conjuice है.
Kansu hai.
Okay, and it means in spite of being rich, he is spendthrift. Spendthrift. He doesn't want to spend money. Okay, अमीर होने पर भी और अमीर होने के बावजूद वह कंजूस है. Anyone else problem with this one? Susan ji, how are you doing?
So far, I'm understanding, Ashu Ji.
Okay, you want to share something? Some of your thoughts?
Not right now.
Okay, what if I give you the scenario? Then you'll be able to say it?
I will try.
Okay. Okay. So let's say, sometimes you suggest people, let's say, it's like I tell my kids all the time, right? But in spite of being told, they don't listen to me, right? So the sentence is in spite of being told. In spite of being told, he didn't listen. It's a hard one. He didn't listen. If this part is hard, you can simply say he does not listen. In spite of being told. To tell is?
To tell is kaha.
Okay.
Kahana.
Kehna.
Is that?
Kehna. Okay. Or
So,
bol. Either way is fine.
okay. Do I have to use the whole sentence?
Yes, say the whole thing in spite of being told using this verb.
Okay. Kaha hone.
No, this is itself, it's a verb, right? Kehna.
Oh, okay. Kahane. He is. Do I have to use he because of the?
Kehne and then because par bhi, very good. Kehne par bhi. Kehne par bhi. He doesn't listen.
वह नहीं सुनता है.
Very good. वह नहीं सुनता है. Okay. वह कहने पर भी. I mean, again, you can see once you got it together, you can rearrange it. Okay, and you can say वह कहने पर भी नहीं सुनता है. Okay, so even somebody is telling him like you should do A, B, and C, or you should not do A, B, and C, he doesn't listen, right? It's a very good sentence to if you want to complain about someone, right? Right? It's a good handy sentence, right? I mean, you should have it in your pocket all the time. Huh?
Ashu Ji,
Yeah.
can you say उसने सुनाया or सुनही something because he did not listen?
So,
yeah.
So the second part is secondary. He doesn't listen is वह नहीं सुनता है, or you can, as you said, if you want to say he didn't listen, you will say उसने
Sunahi or sunai, suna.
उसने वह कहने पर भी उसने नहीं सुना. Okay, he didn't listen. उसने नहीं सुना. Okay, this part is secondary. You can change it to however you want. But I wrote like the present indefinite one to keep it simple. Okay, कहने पर भी नहीं सुनता है. This is like a generic complaint, right? Because this can be a habitual thing, like he doesn't listen in spite of being told. Yeah.
Ashu Ji?
Yeah.
Can I try one?
Yeah, please go ahead.
रोज कसरत करने के बावजूद मैं अभी तक मोटी हूँ.
Okay, very good, right? You are not, but good thing for sentence, right? So you are saying in spite of working out. So you are saying कसरत करने
के बावजूद
पर भी और के बावजूद, कसरत करने पर भी के बावजूद
मैं अभी तक मोटी हूँ.
Okay, so I'm gonna say मैं अभी तक fit नहीं हूँ. Okay, but good job trying the sentence. Okay, I don't know why you'll say that for yourself, but because to me you're fit, right? So, but good. कसरत करने पर भी मैं अभी तक fit नहीं हूँ. Awesome. Anyone else would like to try a sentence? And as I said, make mistake. Right now, this is the time to make mistakes. So go ahead.
हाँ जी.
Yeah.
परीक्षा करने के बावजूद इम्तिहान कामयाब नहीं होगा.
Okay. So one more time. In spite of working hard or in spite of
परीक्षा करने के बावजूद इम्तिहान कामयाब नहीं होगा.
So in spite of giving the exam, or what are you trying to say here? In spite of
means working studying pariksha.
Okay, in spite of studying hard.
Yes, he failed in the exam.
Okay.
इम्तिहान कामयाब नहीं होगा.
So let me write it down and you will do it again. In spite of working hard, he failed or he didn't pass.
No, he इम्तिहान कामयाब नहीं होगा.
Okay, he didn't pass.
Exam, yes, they didn't pass.
Okay, so let's do it again one more time. In spite of working hard. Working hard in Hindi is, Mahaji, how will you say that?
मेहनत करने.
Very good. मेहनत करना. Okay, now say it again. मेहनत करना.
मेहनत करने के बावजूद इम्तिहान, I don't know how to tell fail. That's why I said कामयाब.
It's okay. So मेहनत करने पर भी और मेहनत करने के बावजूद he didn't pass. You can simply say वह
कामयाब नहीं होगा.
नहीं हुआ और होगा. You want to say it in future or in the past?
In the past.
In the past, right? So वह कामयाब नहीं हुआ. Right? होगा is future. Like you're telling someone like, so for hoga, if you think they're in the wrong track, that even though they're working very hard, but they're studying the topic that will not come in the exam.
Yes, this is Aksha going to tell for the future.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to say it for the past, that he worked very hard, but despite working very hard, मेहनत करने पर भी वह कामयाब नहीं हुआ. Okay? और he, वह fail हुआ. Okay? Anyone else would like?
I one.
Yeah, go for it.
बहुत खाने अभी मैं छोटी हूँ.
बहुत काम करने पर भी मैं
छोटी हूँ.
Say it one more time.
बहुत खाने अभी मैं छोटी हूँ.
In spite of
eating much.
In spite of not eating much, right? In spite of eating less.
Of eating much.
In spite of eating much.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Okay, in spite of overeating. Okay, in spite of overeating. And then?
No, not overeating.
Then?
Eating much.
Eating much, okay.
Yeah, in spite of eating much,
Okay.
I am small or thin.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, in spite of ज़्यादा खाने के बावजूद मैं, okay, I see what you're trying to say. In spite of eating a lot or eating a lot.
Yeah.
Eating a lot, I am small. Okay, so बहुत. Okay, so
बहुत खाने का भी.
बहुत खाने के बावजूद.
Okay.
मैं
छोटी हूँ.
So small, I think, maybe use a different,
Thin. Yeah,
slim. मैं slim
yeah.
हूँ. Okay, this fits well. मैं slim हूँ. Okay, मैं slim हूँ. बहुत खाने के बावजूद मैं slim हूँ. Okay, awesome. Anyone else who has not tried?
Can I try, Ashu Ji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
कुछ घंटे लिखने पर भी मैंने असाइनमेंट पूरा नहीं किया.
Very good. कुछ घंटे लिखने के पर भी मैंने असाइनमेंट पूरा नहीं किया. Awesome. Great. In spite of being tired, he kept working. It's a very hard one. In spite of being tired, he continued to work. Who would like to try this one? Taraji, in spite of being tired.
I have forgotten tired word.
Okay.
Very
good.
Tired, heavy, man. I forgot.
No, second part you can just do it. Like, in spite of being tired. That's the main thing. In spite of being tired. So you did a good job. You said like tired hone par bhi. That's what you said, right? Tired hone par bhi, because this was not coming immediately to your mind. You said tired hone par bhi. Okay. Anyone else would like to try? I think someone was saying the word
थक होने.
थकने.
थकने होने.
So you can say थकने पर भी.
थकने पर भी.
Okay. Or you can say थके हुए. हाँ. थके होने पर भी.
या थके होने के बावजूद.
थके होने के बावजूद. Okay. Either way is fine. Okay. If it is not coming to you immediately, it's okay to use the English word and switch to the Hindi one. Like tired होने पर भी वह बहुत काम करता है, और थकने पर भी और थके होने पर भी. Right?
May I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
Ashu Ji, just a clarification.
Yeah.
This word
Yeah.
hona. How does it, the basic verb, how does it form?
थकना.
Thakna. Okay.
थकना.
Oh,
Thakna.
just thakna. You don't need the whole.
No, but there are many variations of it. Thak jana, which is like, before and after, like, remember we did those kind of verbs as well, right? I mean, so there are many variations of thak jana, or, but the very basic one is thakna. Okay. But like, because it's used in such a way, vah thak gaya, he got tired. Like, if you want to use it in the past tense, vah thak gaya. So, I mean, it's a little bit tricky one, so that's why it's like, but if you want to get the very, very basic, the form, stick with this one, thakna.
Okay, because it's become thakke hone, whereas most of the other verbs
That's why it's
not use the oblique.
That this is by nature, this is a tricky one. That's why it's thakke hone par bhi.
Thank you.
Yeah. In spite of being injured, the soldier kept fighting. This is the final one for everyone, and then we can. So I'm gonna write it down here. And in spite of being injured, and all of you should try this one, and I want to see everyone's effort. So in spite of being injured, and this way, even if I missed some of you, which I did, I'll get to see you. In spite of being injured, the soldier fought. I'll keep it simple. The soldier fought the, let's say, war. The soldier fought the war. In spite of being injured, the soldier fought the war. All of you should try it. Do not fear if it is a mistake or something like that, right? I mean, so don't give the answer yet, Mahaji. Write it down so everybody gets to do it without any. So write down in Zoom chat. So it's a fair opportunity for everyone without getting any answers. And for folks who watched it on Facebook, I think the same thing for you as well. Good number of you. Great to see you. Stephen G, Gil, Omar, Ilan, Leah G, Jocelyn, Paddy. Okay, what do you guys think? Let's see your answers. Okay. Zig, you want to give this one a try? Because I didn't ask you. Yes, but...
Well, my vocabulary is very small.
It's okay.
So,
That's okay.
Yeah. Injured hone par bhi.
Very good. Injured hone par bhi. Awesome. Injured hone par bhi. The soldier fought.
I don't know the words for soldier.
So soldier is sipahi.
Sainak.
Okay, sipahi or sainak. Or sainik. Okay, let's call it sipahi. It's okay. Sipahi.
Sipahi. Fought also don't.
Which one? Fought is ladna. To fight is ladna.
Sipahi ladna.
Okay, because it's past. Okay. Because it's past, you will simply say sipahi
ladna.
Lada.
Lada.
Okay, simple. Very good. I'm really happy. Okay, you can make the sipahi ne yuddh lada or all that in a very simple sense. You got it right. Sipahi or soldier lada. Okay. Injured hone par bhi. Okay. Anyone else would like to add more to it now? Okay. So I think Vidyaji and Mahaji. Okay. Jakhmi hone par bhi. Okay. So to get injured is jakhmi hona. Zakhm is like injury. Okay. It's an Urdu word. You can say that, or you can say chot lagne or jakhmi hone or gayal. This is what I was thinking. Gayal hone par bhi or gayal hone ke baavjood. Gayal is like, when you get fainted or like, you get a big injury. Gayal hone par bhi sipahi ne yuddh lada. Okay. Any other variation you guys thought of? Anyone else? Okay.
Did you say that was? Is there a nay in there or no? Sipahi.
Sipahi lada or sipahi ne yuddh lada. So you can say sipahi lada or you can say sipahi ne yuddh lada. Any other variation you guys came up with? Gayal hone par bhi. Okay. But yes, it's okay to have slight variation there, but this is how you will say. Injured hone par bhi, chot lagne par bhi, or jakhmi hone par bhi, or jakhma lagne ke baavjood. Okay, or gayal hone par bhi, sipahi ne yuddh lada. Second part is you can feel free to make changes. But in essence, today we learned, again, just to summarize, par and bhi. Par is a postposition, bhi is a very important keyword. But when they are used together and they're followed by, a verb, such as like, कायल होने पर भी और पानी पीने 2 glass पानी पीने पर भी, it gives the sense of in spite of being done A, B, and C. Okay, so that's the special use case of using per and P. Okay, so this sort of finishes up the chapter 6 of Usha Jain's book. I request all of you to at least look at the if you missed any of the previous classes, do that. At least try to do some exercises of chapter 6 so that way you don't forget the topics. Okay, I think some of you joined for the very first time. We have a WhatsApp group as well, and you're welcome to join those. That way you'll stay connected with the other students who are practicing. You mind quickly introducing yourself, Zig and the other one from OSU? There are 2 people. I think same person. It's the same person, but you mind quickly introducing yourself, Zig?
Yeah, I have a laptop and
Yeah.
iPad.
So if you don't mind, just quickly introduce yourself.
Audio in Zoom on my laptop is messed up, so
No worries.
yeah. But yeah, it has a bigger screen, so that's why I like to look at that. Okay, well, I'm retired from Ohio State University, and my wife is from India, but she understands Hindi, but says she is ashamed to speak it because her native language is Kannada.
I see.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I plan to visit India a lot, so I wanted to learn some Hindi.
Awesome. Great to have you, Zig. I posted, so you will see 2 groups. I think I'm going to post it to everyone. There you'll see 2 WhatsApp group. One is the Hindi University one, which is less chatty. The other one is the practice group. You should join both of them if you're on WhatsApp. If you're on the other platform, you let me know. We'll connect you on the other platforms as well. Okay, this way you will get to interact with other students who are meeting regularly, and as and when time permits, you can join. There is no hard and fast requirement that you should be all of them. Even 15 minutes, you have. The idea is to practice and get comfortable. So with that, we'll wrap up. I know we are 10 minutes over, but great meeting everyone. We'll meet again next Sunday.
Ashu Ji, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it. But other people feel free to drop off if you have any other commitments. Yes, go for it.
So I was wondering about this third imperative form that you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Can you explain that to me? I did not understand that.
Yes, so there are 4 one, right? Let's say eat food.
Yes.
Let's say you have eat food. I'm telling you as a suggestion or advice. So khana khao. That's the first one. Khana khaiye. Okay. Khana kha. Okay, and the last one is khana khaiega. Okay, this is very informal and can be almost considered rude also. Okay, so let's say if I'm talking to someone either I'm very comfortable with, let's say my very, very best friend that I don't have any formality, and like khana kha, bahut der ho gayi hai, right? Khana khao is like in between, where you're not too formal, you're not too informal. Khana khao. Khana khaiye is you giving respect. This is extreme respect. I don't see it being used too much. Khana khaiega. But let me make it bigger. I don't know if you got a chance to. Can you see my screen full or you still?
Yes, I took a screenshot.
You took a screenshot.
Can see it clearly.
Yes. Yeah. So 4 of them, right? Khana khao, khaiye, kha, and khaiega. Which one were you confused about, or you wanted more detail?
It was the 4th form that I didn't know.
This one, khaiega. Yeah, this is not used that much, but Rupert Snell covers it in the academic book. So, but this is like if you want to be like extra careful. Let's say someone you respect a lot, like they came and then you want to be
Yeah.
extremely careful. You don't hurt their sentiments and all.
Maybe if I'm speaking with a kid one day, I'll use
Let's say the Nobel laureate came to your house and
Something is said in your
yeah.
Or Ashu Ji shows up.
Oh, come on. For me, you can be completely informal like Khana ka.
Ashu Ji, can I ask a quick question about pottery?
Yeah.
Can you use it if it isn't following a verb?
Yes, you can. You can certainly use it if it is not following the verb.
Like if I said something like, in spite of him, I arrived, or in spite of him, I succeeded.
Yes, that's right. You can say that. Like it doesn't have to have a verb, right? In spite of, so your sentence, in spite of.
In spite of him.
Uske बावजूद. So in spite of him, uske बावजूद. Okay. So just like par bhi will not be used, the other one will take precedence. Uske बावजूद. Okay. मुश्किलों के बावजूद, like in spite of difficulties और मुश्किलों के बावजूद, and then you can say the second sentence.
The baojood would be more common if you're not using a verb.
That's right, because here the rule is like, you have to have a verb, you're changing it to the infinitive form and you're changing it to the oblique case of that. Right? But again, like you can use that, like in spite of. In English, it's not like in spite of will always be followed by a verb, as you said. So right now the topic is from Hindi to English, but not necessarily all in spite of will translate in Hindi as this. Yeah, awesome. Anyone else? Yeah.
I have one question.
Yeah, go for it.
For is also used as but, is it?
That's right.
But,
that is correct. But
will it be correct if you are writing, like say you're doing an exam and you put per as but? Will that be grammatically correct, or is it just used colloquially?
So per has two use case, right? As you said, per is a postposition. Per is also but, right? मैं भारत जाना चाहता हूँ पर मेरे पास समय नहीं है, okay? और पर मैं busy हूँ. But tell me your question, like what is grammatically incorrect? Like which part is?
No, I just wanted to know if I used it during an exam, if it would be correct.
Yes, it will be correct. Per, magar, kintu. Like, I mean, per is more commonly used, like, day-to-day language,
Yeah.
but if you want to be more formal, you can use other more formal forms, like, but this is like very formal, kintu and parantu or magar. All of them are same, which means but.
I know all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And lekin also, lekin.
Yeah, lekin, that's right. Lekin also. Yeah. Lekin is safe actually. Lekin. But
Okay.
par is more conversational. You can use par also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright, we'll wrap up then. Great meeting everyone. And then any questions you post it on the WhatsApp group and we'll connect again. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Namaste, Dhanyavad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.